Good afternoon, lovelies, and I'm coming to you today with my July budget and my cash envelopes. And July is an interesting month for us. I am a teacher, and by nature, I only work 10 months out of the year. So normally, at the end of June and the end of July, I do not have an income. I do not have a paycheck coming in from my school system because I have been paid August through May. Now, the way that I work that out for my family and my bank has worked with a lot of us teachers is every month for 10 months, we have a specific amount of money pulled out of our paycheck, and it's put in what's called a summer share account. And what they'll do is at the end of the 10 months, they'll take the total that you've saved or that's been pulled out for you, and they will divide that, and you will get a transfer into your bank on June 30th and July 30th. Now, you can have whatever amount taken out and put into a share account if you like. If you don't want a share account, you don't have to do it. If you're comfortable taking your own money and putting it aside, then you can do that. The only thing about the share account is you cannot dip into that account throughout the year. It's a secure account, and you have to leave that money in there until your summer months. So let's just say for each month you have $200 taken out. So for 10 months at $200, you're going to have $2,000. For June and July, they will divide that, and you'll get $1,000 in June and $1,000 in July. Now, that was just a hypothetical number, and you can come up with anything that you want. I do have a little more taken out of my check every month just to make sure that we have our expenses covered for June and July. So I got up this morning, and I literally did this morning. Got up and I did my July budget. So remember when I showed you my budget sheet last time? This is a simple budget sheet, and I do the Dave Ramsey Zero Budget Plan. And so what I did was, in my first column, I have my zero budget, or my projected, what I think it's going to be. And then the second column, I have my actual expenses for that month. Now, there are two sheets. This just prints out on two sheets for me. So this is some expenses, and then these are expenses, but at the bottom of this is where I put in my total income for the month. And so because I didn't have income, what I did was I put in my summer share amount, and then I began to work backwards. It's a little bit different than my June budget or my August through June budget, because this is actually for July, so moving forward, because I actually have income in June. I actually have income for those other months, and I don't have income this time. So what I did was I put in my pay information here, and then I just worked my way backwards. And I was sharing this particular document with another person, and I said you have to work your way backwards. You put in how much you make, and then you put in what you're paying for your expenses. And in this budget, it particularly zeroes out. It'll tell me 0, 0 in blue when I'm at 0. And if I go over, then it puts me in red. And then I have to go back up into this column right here, and I have to figure out where I'm off. Any categories that you see marked in red are cash envelope items. Those are the items I use for cash. And I pretty much use cash for each item in red, with the exception of gas. I don't want to have to get out of the car, leave my kids in the car, go inside, pay the person, come back out and pump gas. So I know that I'm going to have a specific amount for gas. It's the same every month. And then I'll just use my debit card. So that's kind of my electronic cash system, if you will, that I use for gas. So anyway, I went in and I did all of my projected items that I know I'm going to have. I'm going to have mortgage. I'm going to have my giving. I'm going to have groceries, phone, cable, water, clothing, gas. I got to pay a dentist bill, and then I got my hair did. So that was something I added in this month. And I have blow money, and then I also have a student loan that I pay. Those are the only bills that come out of my actual paycheck or my summer share. Now, when I was doing my budget, I actually had to do this budget twice, because I forgot that I have my homeowners association. We just bought a home. Today actually marks the second month, 60 days, since we've been in our actual home. And so I forgot my homeowners association check that I have to write. So I had to go back in. I didn't put that in my budgeted amount because I hadn't budgeted for it. But I did put that in my actual column. And then the other thing that I forgot was the little guy that's coming to cut my grass. It's my little neighbor across the street. It's one of the little neighborhood kids, and he comes and cuts my grass, and I like to give him cash. And so he charges me a very reasonable rate. I like to have money for him, but I did not allocate for that in my budgeted amount. So you plan for the budgeted amount to equal the same amount as what you actually spend. And over time, you begin to know, okay, the grass gets cut twice a month, so now that has to be a budgeted amount. That probably should have been budgeted this month. I just forgot. Once I've gotten all of that filled in, all of my actual totals, and I went in and I looked at my power bill, because that comes via my email. My cable bill comes via email, and I just went in and put those numbers into the actual amount column so I know how much they are. I haven't paid them yet. I'll do that after. In just a little bit, I'll go online and pay all my bills, because I pay all my bills online, with the exception of homeowners association. I'm going to write a check because we don't have the PayPal feature in our neighborhood yet, and I have suggested that. Now, after I do all of that, I've got to get ready for the bank. So what I do is I write on the back of my budget sheet, and I do this every time, what my cash items are going to be. So I know I'm going to have groceries, I'm going to have clothing, and I'm going to get my hair done, and then my blow money. And then I'll add up all the money that I'm using for those items or categories. And then this month it was $349.96. Now, where did I get the $24.96 or the 96 cents? I actually ended up with $24.96 after I did my budgeted column, and I didn't know where it was going to go. And then I forgot I was getting my hair done today, so I just stuck it there because it was actually something I was going to use, and it worked out really, really well. So I went to the bank, and after I put in what my categories are and how much each category is, what I then do is I break it down. Now, my groceries, I shop weekly for groceries, so I know for 4 weeks I'm going to need grocery money. So 200 divided by 4 weeks is $50 a week. That's what I am allocating for my grocery budget to feed 3 people in my household every week. And so I have one envelope for each week of grocery money. Then I'm going to do my blow money. That's just money that I would buy stuff for the kids, or we want a snack, or we stop at the convenient mart and we want to get something. Then I have my clothing. I have a funeral to attend, so I do have to buy a dress. And then my kids might need a couple pieces. We got clothing last month, so they might need a couple pieces here or there. We also got new shoes, and we won't have to have shoes for quite a while. And the kids are going on a summer trip, and they will need a couple pieces for that. And then for my hair, and I marked down for my grocery budget how much 10s and 20s I would need. And then I put a totals column here of how many denominations I'm going to need for this particular month's worth of cash. In all total, I needed 14 20s, 6 10s, 1 5, 4 1s, 3 quarters, 2 dimes, and 1 penny. But I was texting with someone this morning, and they reminded me that I was going to have to get my grass cut because the guy's coming. He's either going to do it this afternoon or tomorrow morning. But I had not allotted for that in this budget here. So what I decided to do, instead of going back and trying to rework my cash, is I'm just going to pull it out of one of these categories. Now, Dave is very specific when he does the zero-based budget in the cash envelopes. He says don't borrow from another envelope to put towards something else. However, I do sometimes borrow if I need to, and I do need the little guy to cut the grass. So I'm just going to pull out, I pulled out $20 from my grocery budget. So that took my grocery budget from $200 to $180. And then I took out $5 from my blow money. So that would be the $25 that I need for the guy to do my grass. And so I ended up with 13 20s, 6 10s, 5 5s, 4 ones, 3 quarters, 2 dimes, and 1 penny. Now, it's very important that you know exactly what your denoms are and how much it equals. And it must equal the total here. The reason I say that is I went to the bank today to do my transaction, and I wrote out my withdrawal slip and I handed the lady what my denominations were. And it was the drive-through bank lady was helping me. So she was going through and she turns around and she says, "This doesn't equal what you have on your sheet." And I said, I'm almost positive that I got it right. So she says, "Well, what denominations do you want to make up for this extra $30 that she was off?" And I said, "Well, just make it 5s and 1s and I'll figure it out." And I'm going back as she turns back around and she's calculating and everything, and I'm doing I got my cell phone out and I'm calculating, and I'm right on my sheet. She turns back around, she said, "Ma'am, you were right. I put it in my computer wrong." So make sure, it's very important that you make sure that you know what you're getting on your denominations there. So the budget is done. I've done my bank run, and now I'm going to stuff my envelopes for the month. So I'm going to use that sheet as a guide. And again, remember, what I do is I just go to the bank and I ask for a couple extra envelopes. I don't make anything special. I have made them before, but this just works and it doesn't take any time. I don't really have a lot of extra time, and I'm not overly crafty, but this works for me. She gave me 7 envelopes and I should have what I need. So I know that I have 4 weeks of groceries. So I'm going to write on here, groceries week 1, and then groceries week 2, and then I'm going to do groceries week 3, and my last one is groceries week 4. So that's done. All of my groceries are done. I have another envelope that I'm going to use. This is going to be the clothing envelope. So that's done. And then I have my blow money, which will go in here. And I've already got my hair done, so I've already paid for that because I got that done earlier, right after I left the bank. So what I'm going to do now is just count out my cash. So I took $20 off. I took $20 out of my grocery money. So that's like $5 off. So I'm going now to $45 a week instead of $50 a week because I had to make up for the grass guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out all my cash. I'm pulling out all my cash out of my envelope. So I went this morning and I got my money down in cash. And so I'm just going to count out my money for the week. So I know I have to have $45 for week 1 of groceries. That's $20.45. I'm going to have $20.45. That's week 2. $20.45 is week 3. And $20.40, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's week 4 for groceries. So now I'm just going to take my grocery money and I'm going to stick it in my envelopes. Same thing I do every month. I posted something this morning that was really key to me. The only way to experience financial freedom or peace or just a non-strain in your finances for me has been to be consistent. So again, I have 2 20s and 1 5 for every week. So that's week 2. So I've got week 1, week 2. I have 2 20s, 1 5. That's week 3. And then 2 20s and 5 1s. That will be week 4. And so all of my grocery envelopes are filled and stuffed. And so what I'm going to do is keep week 1 out. I'll keep that out because that's going to go in my wallet. And then the other 3 weeks are going to go into the family safe. So for the next weeks. The next thing I need is blow money. So I'm going to put $20 over there. And then I need money for the clothing. So I have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70. Let's see. That would be clothing money. I'm just going to keep 70 instead of 75 because I think I have to break one of these 20s because I spent some blow money. I had to get some stuff from AC Moore. I spent $4.11 at AC Moore. And then I think that was at Dollar Tree, and I spent $5 at AC Moore. So I spent $10 of my blow money, which makes this correct for $40 of the blow money, but it actually should be $35 because I took $5 for the lawn guy. Hello. And then I have the rest of the money for the lawn guy. Actually, I have to find $3 more out of there. And once I break one of these 20s from my blow money, I'll shove $3 back into my grocery budget. So I do have to break these two $20 bills because I owe $3 to my grocery, and then I'll be square. So that's my blow money if I can find that. And then $5 to my clothing budget. But if I only have $70 for clothes this week, that's fine. I won't worry about it. Now, hypothetically, and this is for the long run, let me just make this one. That's $25 for the long guy. The reason I paid, he only wanted to charge me $15, but we have a huge yard, so and he edges, he does all my edging for me, so I just told him I'd give him $25, and he does a great job. So I've got my lawn money, my clothing money, my blow money, and my grocery money. Now, when I think about my paycheck or my summer cash, I only get one check a month, whether I'm working or it's my summer cash. So this has to last me, my blow money, my clothing money, that all has to last me for the month because I don't have any more. This is it. And so all of these envelopes are stuffed now. What I'm going to do, and this probably seems a little redundant, and why not do it the first time? Well, I used to keep all of my cash instead of actually doing the envelopes because they wouldn't kind of fit into my wallet really well. Then I'd have to fold them up, and then I'd be trying to shove them around. This just didn't work for my system, so I actually went to a cash wallet. And then what I do now is I made some little inserts to fit into my wallet, and then I would put my cash behind the wallet. Any envelopes that are going into the safe stay in envelopes. So that's done. But the other day I was at the shoe department. My daughter and I was just looking around for some shoes, and I saw this wallet, and it was on sale for 50% off the lowest ticketed price, which was $9.98. So I got this wallet for $4.98. And the difference between the two is I can actually, it has the snap, where it has the snap on the front. And then I can actually hold way more of my rewards cards and different things like that here because it's got the two-sided pockets. And then it also has the where you can put behind here. And I just actually keep stamps and gift cards or anything else like that I'm using for the kids. I could probably actually put my, let me see, put my ledger in here because I do have to write all that out from my checkbook to make sure that I am good. And then once I close it back, and this is the only thing I don't like about it at the moment. It's just still fresh and new. I'm just using it for the first time today. But in the back, this was really good. It's very wide, and it also has the two sides. So I have the categories that I use all the time that I'm going to actually put money in. This is my groceries, medical, although we don't have much medical stuff to buy this time because I got 90-day supply last month. My child care and my homeschool stuff. So those are items that I would probably use all the time. And then in the back categories, I have my blow money, miscellaneous, gifts, and then eating out. So I think I'm going to actually change out a couple of these because I'm going to use groceries. I'm going to take my blow money. I'm going to use miscellaneous for the lawn guy. And then probably eating out, I'll just throw that one in the front. And these other ones, medical, childcare, homeschooling, gifts, because we're not schooling anymore this summer, I'm actually going to put those behind. Then I'm going to take my front cards and put them in the front. And then I'm gonna just start to shove these, put my monies into here. So I am gonna open up this one envelope for groceries week 1. And I know it's crazy to put them in the envelope and then put it in your purse, but I just have my process. It's just how I have to do it. And so that's going in there. So I have $45. I do not carry all of this cash with me all the time, and I am going to the stores today. I've got my clothing money. That's my $70. And that's going to go under, well, I don't have a clothing one because normally we don't buy clothing. So I'll just put that under, I don't know where I'll put it. I'll just put it under, let's see. I'll figure out where I'm going to put it in a minute. Miscellaneous is going to go for the lawn. That's going to be for the lawn. I guess the reason I don't have a clothing insert is because we have been on a spend freeze for a very long time, just trying to make sure we had enough to make everything work, and we were good with clothes. So that's why I don't have one. And then blow money, I am going to put in the blow money section. And pretty much, I'm just going to use one of my old tabs. Well, actually, I can just put it behind my eating out tab. Pretty much, this is what my wallet will look like for the first week of the month. And I have all of my monies associated with the specific tab divider that they go with. And that's how it works. Now, in here, I just keep all of my change. And then remember what we do with our change, because we are trying to save for a vacation. And we're going to just take all of our change and any change that we have, which I have some change here. I'm going to close that back. I'm going to close this because I've gotten all the money situated in there. And then I did go and buy a couple things this morning at the store. And let me see. So that's all the change that we have. And all of my change is going to go into our change bucket for our vacation. If I can get it open. And one of the things about not spending the change is I try to keep just dollars on me, and then that way, if we get any change, I remember it goes directly in there. So let me make sure. And I had gotten a check this past week, and so I was going to put, this is my tithe off of that $50 check that I got. And I always put that in the back of any monies, because I know that that goes to the Lord, and I always put that first. So that is our cash envelopes, or our cash wallet system, and our July budget. We are set for the month. If you have any questions or comments, if you will leave us a comment on our on this video, we would appreciate it if you liked it, if you subscribe to our channel, and also share with friends. It's very challenging to be a single mom. It's very challenging to try to make it all work. And we're doing something that we feel like works for us. And it's been 5 years that we've been using the same budget. We just moved to this wallet system with the cash, but we've been doing the budget and the cash system for 5 years. And we don't worry about where our food is coming from. And we don't worry about if we're going to have enough money to pay the bills, because we've been good stewards. We now are seeing the fruit of that stewardship. So anyway, like our video, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Bye.